A center for ants?
Well, I must say, for a casual weekend, quite an experience.
You allow this sort of thing in your department, you're basically saying it's okay.
No, I'm saying that I don't care what they do as long as my life isn't interrupted by pointless conversations like this one.
Shut up!
It's the Al Traffis Show, and we've got him in, Senator Aric Putnam. Of course, you know him as one of the finest senators in the state of Minnesota. You probably know him as the guy who married the number one superintendent of schools in all of Minnesota. Yeah, they're the dream couple here. Congratulations. Thanks for coming on the show, by the way. Thank you. Appreciate
it.
It's
great to see you, my friend. Great to see you.
Yeah, he is also a professor. Where do you professor at? You're like a debate teacher or something, right?
And that's the story. That's what they tell me.
And what's
St. John, St. Ben's.
St. John, St. Ben's. I presume you've probably been to a graduation or two in your time.
This is true.
Yeah.
I've never attended one for myself.
Oh, really? You skipped out on your own. But they're all kind of cookie cutter, look ahead, like life's going to be great, do this and this. Do you find it your job as a professor of young minds of mush to fill them with good quality habits or thoughts they should take on in their lives, post school?
To a certain extent, like I see them 3
hours. Do you share wisdom? Yeah. Do you share a little wisdom?
A week. So like what I can do in those 3 hours, I do. But yeah,
okay.
For sure.
I wonder if one of the things you would teach them is to be sure to set up goals for yourself which cannot be achieved and do it over and over again so your bosses can see it. Is that not one of the great life lessons we should, is never make a goal? What in God's... See, you're coming on the show. I'm like, oh, great. Maybe today we'll get to talk with Putnam about the fact that it's all going to be done today. I saw the goal again. We're going to have everything done today. Now, it's the sixth time they've said we'd have this goal and they haven't hit it. Now I get up this morning, Putnam's coming on and, well, it won't be done today. What? Who's running? No one does this in the business world. We'll be done Monday. Or, okay, we're done Tuesday for sure. No, Wednesday we're done. Why are we playing games with people like this? Because you want us all bored to death?
I got to say, that was an excellent rope-a-dope. I didn't see this one come. I didn't know that's where you were going. Really well played.
Thank you. I do this professionally.
As a fellow crabby old man, I need to say that I got to switch gears into kids these days. Because, when my kids were in high school, they didn't have deadlines. You could make stuff up when the semester was over. Like, okay. If you didn't do well on this test, do it again. No. Fail. Fail, learn from it, and do it again. That's my jam.
Okay, and I think there's an entire group of folks running our state capitol that don't have that old man lifestyle that, no, we'll get her done. That's our job. Let's get her done. Do you have a feeling of when this is getting done? Do you have any thoughts?
I like to think this weekend, but
But why? What changes?
What happens? I don't know.
This to me is like a major Jenga game. If I can, permission to use a metaphor. If you were playing Jenga and everything we needed was at the bottom and everything you wanted was on top and was the perfect square, and then you went up, okay, can we vote for this people? Some people no, I'd like something. Okay, take your piece. I need this one at the bottom here. I need it or I don't need it, and then you put it at the top because now it's a priority for you. And the next guy says, well, if you're going to play that piece, I got to pull this one out because I like this piece and I want it, and then I'll vote for everything they put it on the top. And we do this game for weeks and upon weeks. And now the top's got all the stuff everybody wants, and the stuff at the bottom we really need is teetering. It's just now it's one more piece goes and the whole thing falls down. Is that a good analogy or not? Because I get the idea that what gets us any closer? Oh, we need two more at the bottom and put it at the top and we're going to be good. What are the two? Can we just put it out there in the paper? Let us know, let us discuss and get over it.
I think your metaphor gets halfway there. It's
Jenga. That's most of mine too. God, they always have
that's
no
a good one though. It's Jenga, but we've greased the blocks and we have Parkinson's and haven't taken our medication. That's what it is.
Now there's the visual. That's what it seems like, sir. It just seems like, and again, it started. The Republicans no new taxes. The whole thing on people getting hourly wages in the summer at schools could get unemployment, and Minnesota Care for illegals. So those are the three. Let's beat these down. Let's do what we got to do. And all of a sudden, data centers from out of the dark, data centers is the new thing. And I'm like, I've been paying attention. I swear to God, I talk to Putnam every week. He didn't bring up no data centers. When did that come from the bottom to the top?
It's partially because I don't care a whole lot about the data center question. There's other stuff I do that's super duper important, and I think you're right. Like you pull one thread and something else falls apart. It's
Yeah.
I'm so glad I'm not in leadership because this would drive me nuts. Because people sometimes concerns are real and sometimes they're just a cipher for something else. So like, well, I refuse to do this ever. This is the worst idea in the world unless I get this.
See, but is that not why? And this is Al being cynical old man again. There's some reason we still have the bonding bill sitting out there, which could or could not get done. There is no need to have that done. Wait till next year. We're beyond your time. You didn't get it done on time. Wait till next year. But that's where I think some of these people say that's the worst idea ever. Well, unless I get a water treatment plant, then I might be able to see it on your way. Is that not what we're doing? Is bargaining, horse shopping, or whatever they call it, horse trading with the bonding bill? Is that why that thing's still hanging out there?
My understanding is that's just kind of what binding bills are right now. Like years ago, they used to be bipartisan things where everyone just wanted pork for their own district.
Yeah.
Like, and that was a fine kind of corruption. Like that corruption made sense.
The good kind of corruption.
The good kind of corruption. But now it gets stuck in other stuff. So, I mean, 2 years ago, we didn't get a bonding bill because the Senate GOP held out to have to not have a vote on the ERA. What does
Yes.
it have to do with sewage? Nothing, right? So you take one
Crappy
thing.
bill. Crappy. That was too easy to tag. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's like, oh, that's funny actually. Well done. So, sorry, I didn't mean to sound surprised. I didn't mean like, oh wow, Al had a good one. That's funny. Actually, said I.
All right.
No, I mean it's okay. I'll give you this. I was in a conference committee meeting for one of the committees I chaired just a couple weeks ago, and we're talking about one issue about agriculture, and a member of the other body said, "Yeah, okay, but what's in it for me?" Like actually said those words
Out loud.
out
Said the
loud.
quiet. Yeah.
And I'm looking around. I was like, dude, this has nothing to do with you. It has to do. I
Are
don't remember
you
what
in the
issue-
ag business? Let me ask you this. Explain this to me, because obviously by the end of the month, if nothing happens, we shut Minnesota down. The pink slips have went out. But I'm under the impression you running the ag, right? Run the ag committee. You guys got your stuff done, right? It's all agreed upon. The numbers, everybody, both sides, we're good. Will ag folks get shut down if this isn't done, or can the governor go and sign your portion of the bill so ag people can just keep doing what they're doing come June 30th? How does this work?
Yeah, that is actually how it works. So I got my stuff done. The ag budget has been signed by the governor. So no one at the Department of Ag is going to get laid off or have any problems. But when you look at the things that are outstanding, it's only little things like Health and Human Services.
Well, no, these are the two biggest budgets, but the correction with the police officer safety group, they got that done. They were going to keep people in jail that are in jail. So that way we're safe. So I'm just wondering the numbers. Health and Human Services, that's big. I'm not saying it's not. Education, not to be cruel, and I know they hate me for saying this, but a lot of education people will be at home by June 30th, that we're done for a couple, 3 months. Now they're state people who still work. I understand they'll be, but it's not as large a group as Human Services, right? That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, but like at the same time, like I guess you go back to
Oh,
your
it's
general
not
metaphor.
good.
Oh, it's not good. Like that's what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say. It's not good.
Yeah.
And anyone who does a job should get paid.
Oh, yeah, I completely agree. But my point is, when you say the state's shutting down, well, two of the biggest organizations, most of the other stuff, because you've got it done, are done. So just to keep it real for folks, I don't know if parks shut down. I don't know if park people got their stuff done. Are parks done? Do you know? The parks will stay open? I don't have any idea. Try to keep up. But that stuff bothers me. But now we're down to these stickler points. Reading the thing today, I hate this work group idea. No one's telling me what that one thing is. Is it the data center now? Because I don't think you can hang your hat on data centers. Up till a year ago, we like data centers. They pay money in taxes, and maybe they got to cut. No one gives enough to shut down government for data centers, and I don't know what that means. So somebody needs to speak up on for or against. So what is the thing we're held up on?
It's like I'm saying before, like it's hard to tell what people are genuinely concerned about and what they're using to cause drama. So on the data
Okay.
centers thing, it's rarely just about the data centers. We had a long conversation about it last night, and to be honest, I don't understand the passion behind it. Like, sure, there's jobs, good jobs in data centers.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, they can be an environmental nightmare, But what you do is you just come up with rules and ask people to follow them. And if they don't, you don't let them do stuff. It's not that hard.
Well,
So
and I don't know exactly what the worst thing that can happen in a data center. This is not a nuclear power plant. If it goes down and they suck up too much energy, maybe we got to make more. The thing that I think it does, and this is just me, and I'm not a smart man, is if we're going to be all energy free, except for solar and wind and water or something by 2040, these things take up a crap load of power. We may not hit our goal. Now, maybe we won't care because we're bringing enough money. And I don't know all that, but it's back to, I don't want to shut down my state while we figure out data centers. It doesn't seem important enough to me.
God damn it, I agree with you again.
See, it'd be different if you and I want to have a long conversation about whether people here without paperwork should get health care. I guess I can see there's a conversation to be had. I don't know where to stand on data centers enough to shut down a government. So I'm thinking they're blowing smoke. And this is me getting mad at the papers and all the rest. Well, it's this work group thing where we're in now. Somebody's got to be telling the Minnesota people what it's really about. And I'm reading all this stuff and I don't know.
All right, let me try it. So
will you do that for?
I think data centers are getting caught in a battle of bigger stories. So, and we found this in the whole taxes bill, because I'm on the taxes working group. I've been on the conference committee, but having these conversations, and it's really not as much about the details as it is about this epic narrative that people want to tell themselves. Giving any kind of tax break to a data center is corporate destruction of the environment. It's the worst thing we can possibly do. We're just giving handouts to giant corporations. Doesn't matter what the corporation is, doesn't matter what it does. That's just what we're doing. On the opposite side, if we don't do this, we hate business and we hate labor because these are construction jobs.
Yeah.
Both those stories are dumb, incomplete, not getting involved in the nuance at all. So you're right. It doesn't have as much to do with data centers at all, as much it has to do with these big stories we tell ourselves to make ourselves feel important.
Any of it have anything to do with, and I'm blaming my side here, the idea that Mitchell's trial gets closer by the day? We don't get this done this week, is what they're saying now, and I'm looking at the calendar so I know the date. You're 1 week away from trial starting for the 34th and the one extra senator that you have on your side. I would be really cynical to think my side would play a game like that, wouldn't I? I would hate them.
Can I just laugh in response?
Yeah, that's good. It's fair by me.
Answer?
Yeah,
if
that's what they're doing, I will be very upset. It will really tick me off. We can't get things done because we have the opportunity to get one more senator aside and really split this thing up 33 and 67, 60.
That is 100% what they're doing. 100%. And the other thing is, I think, important, and as you may have seen this on the social medias, I know you're hip and young and all about the TikToks or whatever it is.
I'm all about the Insties.
And there's some videos out there of Republican senators saying, yeah, I want a government shutdown. Shut the whole thing down. I don't care if people lose their jobs. We need to make some real changes in how we spend money. And I think that would be fine if they showed up for work and said what those changes should be.
Yeah, lay it all out there. Show what you're going to cut. Right? Yeah,
that takes work. Again, back to the epic narrative. I'm someone who stops stuff. I don't care if you want to feel like that's who you are. Show up for work.
I had a thing when I was in high school. I had my own island. And if people ticked me off, I said, you don't come on my island. Only people I want are going to be on my island. I'm going to be honest with you, Senator Putnam. I haven't used my island in a long time. You're on the island, my friend. You and I on the island. I got to go to break. We'll be back. I want to make fun of some people that had to go to work last week. I'm going to do it with Senator Putnam right after this on the Al Travis Show.
Dust from gravel roads and driveways does more than make your car dirty inside and out. It gets down into your lungs, and it's bad for your health. Now there's an environmentally friendly solution for your dust problems. It's called Dust Lock. Dust Lock can control all your summer dust problems with just one application. Protect your vehicle and your lungs. Learn more at dustlock.com.
You know that car sound that sounds like a cricket playing a banjo? Jay's can fix that. You know when you step on the brakes and your car sounds like a pair of tennis shoes in the dryer? Paul is a guy who specializes in that. And you know that sound that never happens when the mechanic's around? Paul took a whole course on that. If you own a car, you need to know Paul. Paul owns Jay's Auto Shop, 202 North Main Street, Blue Earth, 525-1052, 525-1052.
Are you kidding me?
You know that comment you said to the radio? The thing that we got wrong?
Clearly, Brussels sprouts are the worst vegetable.
Call us and let the world know your thoughts. 855-257-7469. That's 855-ALS-SHOW.
Al Travis with Senator Aric Putnam. Senator, via NPR News, they were discussing the folks, Minnesota state government employees having to go back to work and work, from the office at least 50% of the time. Their little union set up a portal so you can complain about how bad it was, and people started complaining, buddy, and here are a couple of the complaints. There are complaints lodged over the lack of proper technology, lack of adequate space, members of teams being separated from their supervisors or coworkers, and some hookups were being finicky. Now they are going to picket and continue the compile their list. Can we read the room? You start picketing because you got to go to the office. I think you might lose some of us in Minnesota. But let's take some of their problems. There's lots of lack of proper technology. I'm sorry, were you working with a laptop computer from your home and you didn't bring it with you to the office? What do you mean that lack of technology? You had it at your home, you bring it over. And so that's a problem. And the idea that you're complaining that you were separated from your supervisors, were they living in your basement when you were working from home? Two of the four complaints I can't even take seriously. Your thoughts?
So, I'm going to be risky.
I can see it.
One.
I get they can be upset, but come on, don't complain that you're not next to your supervisor. You want to work from home.
Yeah, that seems like those seem like fair points that you're making here. But like my issue is, I think the whole thing was rolled out really horribly. We should have talked to people before we did this. If you signed a contract and your job was to work from home, and then we're saying, never mind, you got to come in. I think that's
and who do we blame for that?
Who
rolled that out so horribly?
I
we don't know. We'll look it up. We'll take a look.
On radio, people can't tell that I'm looking at my feet and try not to. Well, I don't know if I told you the story before, but I got a neighbor here. I guess the rule for her particular job was 75 miles, and she's 75 miles away on 94. So she can stay home. She can keep teleworking. Okay. But she's 74 miles away on Highway 10, which takes an extra half hour.
Yeah, because that's a terrible highway.
And they're making her go in because that 1 mile difference. And I'm like, come on, man. It's kind of a troubling rule and decision in the first place. But if you're going to make a weird decision like that, let's be a little human about it too.
Oh, and I don't mind people working from home because I think you can save money on office space if there's some way of managing that. We threw everybody at home because of COVID. Go home, don't come in. And are we doing it well? If we're doing well, I don't care. I really would not. 75 miles or 74 makes no never mind. But don't complain. I mean, let's be grown up. The rest of the world does not feel your pain that you go into work 50% of the time. And then to complain, well, my coworkers aren't around me. I don't even get the argument. Let's just be smart about it. Let's look good when we complain. That's my job.
That's fair.
Fair enough. Love having you on the show, sir. Always do. We'll have the same conversation next week because I presume we'll have 2 or 3 more deadlines we won't meet, and we'll discuss it then. Is that fair enough?
Absolutely. Or maybe we can just postpone the show next week. I don't know. You just keep pushing.
They make me fill the hours. They make me
not real. Calendars are not.
Nothing works. I'm just going to complain that I'm nowhere near anyone I'm supposed to work with. How many miles away from you? We got to get closer. Back after this with more. He's Senator Aric Putnam.